Can you see my screen, Tom?
Yes, I can. We're ready to go, Sam.
Great. I think we'll just hold on for one more minute, allow for a slightly late arrivals, and then we'll get cracking. We're recording. Sure. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so let's begin. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Sam, and I'm presenting to you today with my colleague Tom, and we are going to speak to you about bots for WhatsApp. Just very briefly, I would like to introduce who we are and the company we work for, and more importantly, why we feel we can speak about this subject. So the company we work for is Inbenta, and we specialize in customer service applications, so applications which promote digital self-service, particular those powered by NLP. So NLP stands for Natural Language Processing, otherwise known as Natural Language Understanding, NLU. We've developed several applications over the years. One of them would be a custom website search, for example, using NLP. Another might be a custom help center deployed via a website or via a native app. But most importantly, what we're going to talk about today is we have also specialized in chatbots. Over recent years, that has been delivered. They have been delivered mainly via web and via native apps. But over during more recent times, we have of course deployed these chatbots increasingly through messaging channels. And the hottest topic in relation to messaging these days is of course WhatsApp. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and I wanted you to leave this webinar having answers to two questions. The first of which is, just practically speaking, how can I deploy a chatbot through WhatsApp? What are the necessary steps? And the second question is, what can I do with it once I have it? Okay. I don't have many slides for you today. It's mainly going to be a technical demonstration, but there is just a bit of background knowledge that it is worth sharing with you. So WhatsApp Business is primarily aimed at small business owners who can easily manage a few simultaneous WhatsApp conversations. However, if you need to communicate with your customers through WhatsApp at scale, then you need to go through an approved partner. As of right now, there are only 65 partners who have been approved, and the approval process is quite slow. So by all means, go ahead and start your application if that makes sense for you. But for the time being, we recommend that you go through a partner. Through one of these approved partners, you can either send push notifications or you can deal with customer service topics. For the purposes of this webinar, we are going to focus on the latter, on customer service interactions, specifically those that we feel can be dealt with through a chatbot. Okay. Some of the approved partners, I'm going to provide a URL with a link to the full list of partners. Some of these partners do actually have a chatbot offering themselves. So if all you want your chatbot to do is one or two simple things, for example, redirects users to a contact form on the website, then that's fine. However, if you want your chatbot to be a little bit more sophisticated, if you want a chatbot that is capable of understanding a variety of different intents and responding intelligently, then we recommend an NLP chatbot as opposed to a simpler click bot or a keyword search-based bot. Okay, so the reason, for this reason, the demo that you're about to see has been built through Vonage, which is the approved partner that we have decided to go through. And the chatbot you're going to see is obviously our own. What we're going to look at today is a WhatsApp connector that has been built using Vonage's API and has been customized, first of all, to present our chatbot, and secondly, to connect to our live chat system, okay? You can also connect via another provider, or you can connect with another live chat system. It's really up to you. But in our case, we've already launched a couple of projects using Vonage, so that's what we're going to show to you today. It might all sound a little bit daunting, connecting first to WhatsApp and then a provider and then a chatbot and then a live chat system. However, your chosen provider will be able to customize this connector for you and walk you through the steps without overcomplicating things, okay? Depending on what you want to deliver, the setup work is not actually all that arduous. It can take between 2 weeks for something straightforward and maybe as long as 6 weeks for something a little more complex. Let's say a chatbot which can pull content from multiple sources or can deliver order status updates. That takes a little bit longer, but in either case, the work is not all that demanding. And finally, what I wanted you to get an idea of is what it is you're actually paying for. What's the purpose of all this? So first of all, what going through an approved WhatsApp provider will get you is a very simple and scalable integration. It will allow you to send WhatsApp messages very easily without having to manage hosting or scaling or dealing with constant software updates. It will allow you to connect with your existing applications, for example, your CRMs. So it means that you'll be able to deliver a chatbot that does not just deliver FAQ type answers, but will also be able to deliver transactional content. So I think we have an example of this, which we're going to show you later, but it will be a chatbot that can actually reach in and pull information from your APIs and web services. Thirdly, everything that we're going to show you today has been built through secure APIs, which work seamlessly with WhatsApp's end-to-end encryption. And finally, the WhatsApp UI does actually have some limitations, which we'll get to a bit later on. But the connector that we have with Vonage does allow us to send rich media. So that means that the chatbot can be configured to send video, audio, and images. And with that, I am going to hand over to my colleague Tom, who is now going to present a live demonstration.
Thank you, Sam. Hello, everyone, and good morning to you. My name's Tom, and I'm going to be walking you through what this solution looks like when engaging it through WhatsApp. So without further ado, let me share my screen and go on to WhatsApp Messenger. Sam, can I confirm you can see WhatsApp screen? Yes, Sam?
Yep, we can see, sorry.
Great, fantastic, awesome. So, WhatsApp on, or Inventor on WhatsApp. So essentially what we've done is we have a connector created by a company called Vonage, to which we can now implement a standard Inventor chatbot within a WhatsApp Messenger platform. So the same way that WhatsApp would work, let me just move this here. What I'm doing is now I'm doing a screen share with the phone connected to my computer to show you what the interface looks like when you're engaging it through the actual application instead of you doing it through the web. So I can click here. The same way you have your conversations with your loved ones, your friends, your family, it's the same way that you could have an engaging chatbot or autonomous chatbot engaging with your clients on the front end. So let me just say hello here. So exactly the same way as messages would go when you're engaging with another individual on WhatsApp, the chatbot would reply to you and respond to you in exactly the same format. Okay. what we've gotten here is a few customer service sort of demoed questions, which I'm going to give you sort of an overview on how they work, on how they respond within inside of the platform. Just FYI, it uses the same technology as we would use on an SDK, so a software development kit that you would go ahead and deploy on a website, for example, or within another channel. I have an example of this, which can be fairly basic with some e-commerce companies, which can be maybe talking about deliveries. So I have a content on here, which is, can you deliver abroad? A solution will understand my intent, and it will then present me with an answer the same way as you would receive an answer from any other individual engaged within WhatsApp. We can add photos inside of the UI, so you know that the information that you're sending to the customer is correct. Okay, so I open that up, I can save that image, and that's no problem. We have a rating system, which is sort of similar rating system that we would implement on a normal chatbot. It can be deployed within the WhatsApp channel as well. So you can say yes or no. In this case, that was fairly useful. Okay. Now, to sort of give you a flavor of how this would work using sort of our natural language, let me ask that question in maybe one or two different other ways. So I think, do you deliver abroad, or can you deliver abroad? I think is the title. We're based in Barcelona. Perhaps maybe I could say something like, can you deliver to me in Barcelona? Solution will interrogate that question and present an answer. Same one. Do you deliver to mainland Europe? Okay. As you can see, the solution is, we have a semantic understanding, a lexicon that can understand different variations of the user's intent and present an answer similar or very close or exactly the same as what would exist within inside of your knowledge base. Let's just do one more. Do you deliver to, let's see, Munich in Germany? Great, and it can still understand my intent and present me with that answer, so we can say yes. Other features of this platform, we have this connected to understand also emojis as well. So the same way that you would engage with your normal human beings on WhatsApp and using emojis for sort of a semantic or understanding between one another, you can do so here. We use AI/ML to understand that. So in this sense, we've got a sort of a positive thumbs up, if so to speak, and the chatbot can understand that it's going to give a positive response. So yes, and we can do that within the titles of contents if you wanted to, just to make everything a little bit more as close to a human engagement as possible, or normal WhatsApp engagement. I have another content in here, which is using a decision tree. I want to show you what this looks like when a chatbot can take you down a specific journey. Okay, so can I? What was the question? What payment methods do you offer? Okay, the solution should understand my intent. So this depends on what sort of payment methods you would like to pay on. Would this be via gift card or bank card payments? So we can say bank card payments. Okay, and it's answered my question. And it's given me an image of the type of payments or payment methods I can use, of what is accepted within our fake company to make these payments. That was very useful. Using NLP, we can restructure that in a different way. I wish to pay with my credit card, for example. So same process again, understanding my intent and presenting me with an answer. Okay. Now that was fairly basic in our terms. Perhaps maybe we can try a decision tree that really takes a user down a specific journey. So I think normally with some utility companies, you get individuals who have problems with their boilers, for example. And what I've done is I've made a decision tree that can take a user down a specific journey to help them get an understanding of what they should do if they do have a boiler breakdown. Okay, so my boiler is not working. Can diagnose the problem. Can you smell gas or not? I do not smell gas. Okay. Well, you saw me misspell smell there, as in small, but still able to understand my intent and present me with that answer. What you saw here was dialogue working in a way to which we have the first node, and it's asking you, using natural language or engaging with the user to tell them, what is actually the first problem without actually having to pick one. The second aspect of this, or the second node of the decision tree, is now asking the user to choose one of the following. So in this case, we'll have to write an answer to that. So I can read info on the boiler. Okay. Awesome. What does the boiler read? Low pressure. Okay. Let's say, for example, that's happened. So it's given me an answer. Low pressure can be sign of serious fault. Okay. And it is presented me with a video to which we can click on here, and it can take me directly to YouTube if the client has YouTube directly integrated into the application itself, and provide an answer to what they're looking for. So a boiler breakdown, I've just taken any old video from YouTube to show you how that would work. Okay, we'll say yes. So that's kind of how NLP works. Let's go into very quickly into the second part of what would happen if we can provide real automation to the chatbot. Another sort of self-service inquiry could be users that want to get an understanding of their balance, for example, on their account. Have a very simple journey on here. How do I view my balance, for example? Should understand this. So can you confirm my phone number? So 074. Okay, we got a UK phone number in there. Using regular expressions, we're allowing the chatbot to confirm that parameter exists. And my email address is greenwoodT@inventor.com. Okay, that's my current balance into the chatbot. So using webhooks or hooking into external web services, we're allowing the chatbot not only to answer simple questions or provide users with a simple journeys to get them to what they're looking for, to problem solve. We're actually automating these services inside of the chatbot. So I should get an email, which I will show you when I transfer over to my computer, of my current balance and what my balance is inside of the chatbot of WhatsApp. I have another one in here, which is a little bit more complex. This is based on how the chatbot can provide information based on where a person's delivery can be. Okay. Where is my order? Okay, so same form again, Tom. Greenwood. T Greenwood at inventor.com. So we have a form which coexists inside of the content, and it's asking qualifying questions to make sure that the information presented, or I don't know, May 2020, for example, to make sure that this information is qualified and exists on an external web service which may be hosted within your company, which is tracking all the information on that user's order. IG1. This is my old postcode from back home. Oops, it's a bit fiddly. 1HE. Okay, and I think it should ask me for my delivery number. So I've got any old thing in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And it should now confirm my delivery or my package into WhatsApp, or into my email address, excuse me. So it's giving me the information in WhatsApp, but it's also providing me with an update that should go into my inbox. How does this all work, essentially? So let me just do a new screen share here, okay? And you should be able to see this screen now. Can you see my screen?
Still on WhatsApp, still on the phone.
Still on WhatsApp? Okay. Let me just head back. Let me head back to WhatsApp. Give us a close here.
We're on.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yep, now we're good.
Great, okay. So the new screen that I need to see would be this one here. Okay, so what we're seeing here is an external web service which I built. It's using these specific parameters. Okay, and these specific parameters are confirming that that information is correct, and I have an update status on where my order is, and that should have sent an email to my inbox, which I'm going to do another share screen here. Okay. I think I should have an update in my inbox on that order, which is based on where my delivery is. So that's coming from my private email, and that's sending me an update on my delivery. Okay, so that's how we use contents to provide automation, provide real world update status, balance inquiries, how much credit a user would have left, automating all these aspects of customer service, which are, could be alleviated into a user's customer service center, for example. Taking advantage of variables to do that, we could allow those external web services to present information into the chatbot. So as I said, the possibilities are endless to do this, and yeah, all we require is these external parameters that would coexist as variables inside of our chatbot to present information to the user. So I'll give an example of one that you can see here. This will be an email address, and we have the regular expression to understand that. If I were to type an incorrect email address, it will address the user that is incorrect, and it will ask the user to type in a correct email address. Same can be done for the postcode. The same can be done for the user's account number or phone number, so on and so forth. Okay. And yeah, I believe that's it of the transactional element of this. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to share back the screen. I'm going to show you very, very, very quickly what would happen if the chatbot is connected to a live chat service. So let me just get my screen here. Sam, are you logged into our ticketing system?
Yep.
Great, awesome. So we're back to the chatbot. It's self-serve the user via different elements, automation, questions, decision trees, so on and so forth. Now we want to hand over, for example, let's say some of this information isn't helping the user. We can, inside of WhatsApp, we can hand over to agents. So I wish to speak to an agent. Okay. Oh, Sam, are you logged in?
Yeah, sorry, Tom. It must have kicked me out in the meantime. That's
no problem.
A little annoying.
Let's do that again.
It's I'm having to reset it.
Agent, please.
No, I'm getting an error message.
And in the backstage?
Yeah.
No problem.
That's a shame. So, sorry, everyone. That's a little bit annoying, but unfortunately, these things can happen with live demos. But rest assured, this can be connected with a live chat system, and it can be passed from chatbot to agent, obviously within the same UI. It can be passed over seamlessly. And more importantly, the agent can actually see the previous conversation. So Tom, I think I'm logged in now. We might run the risk of going over by a minute or two, but hopefully some people can stick around. So if you don't mind, please try it again. Yeah.
Yes, great. So yes, you'd like to confirm that you want to speak to an agent.
There we go. Okay. So that has popped up on my agent console.
Great. That's fantastic. So yeah, we can the same way that you could have the conversation with inside of WhatsApp using using a chatbot to automate those specific services. We can hand over to live agents using our messenger platform to do so. So Sam is an agent on the other side. Sam is replying to my inquiries. I think I can send images if I wanted to as well. So let's say I wanted to send a pair of these glasses. I think Sam would receive that as an image as well. So this can be good and helpful in terms of having your customers get maybe a detailed and better self-service using WhatsApp. Since it's a phone, you can just take pictures of bills, for example, or the broken boiler, for example, using that example, or for example, if the user's router isn't working, the user can send the image to the agent, and the agent can deal with that inquiry a little, far better than just than text itself. Okay, but yes, that's very, very, very useful. We can hook into other live chat platforms if you wanted to, depending on the extent of how the project goes. We can virtually provide any sort of self-service into our connector with WhatsApp. Okay, so I'll stop sharing now, Sam. I think you can say goodbye or log out.
Yep. There we go. I noticed one question put into the Q&A. And and I thought it was fairly interesting. The question was, you mentioned at the beginning that WhatsApp has some limitations. Yeah, so this is actually worth spending a minute on. Basically it relates to the UI. You may have noticed that in the demo that after every content, the chatbot said something like, was this information useful, yes or no? So that's obviously in order to gather feedback, but instead of tapping yes or no, as you might do through Facebook Messenger, Tom actually had to physically type in YES each time. That's because WhatsApp's UI does not permit buttons. Not sure why, but that's just something that they've decided not to enable. So that's one limitation. Second limitation is possibly more to do with the chatbot provider rather than WhatsApp itself, but it's important to make sure that it understands emojis. So ours does understand emojis, but we had to train it specifically. And the reason I think this is worth emphasizing is, as we all know, as if you are a WhatsApp user, that emojis are a really huge part of the platform and how you communicate. So it's very important that your bot understands what a thumbs up means, what a smiley face means, etc., because it's a large part of how we speak to each other within the channel. And then finally, the UI. There is, with a web-based chatbot, you might have the standard chat UI, and then when displaying a long answer or when displaying a video, you might have a side window which pops out alongside. We call it a side bubble. With WhatsApp, this is not possible. All the answers, all the content, everything you want to display has to be displayed within the main user interface. So that's just something to bear in mind when you are preparing your content. I think that's about it. Thank you all very much for your time. Those of you who have stuck around until the end. If you do have any questions, mine and Tom's email addresses are on the screen, or you can get hold of us through LinkedIn. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll close there. Have a nice day. Bye.